then once I went in, he had just died. They were calling me when I got to the hospital. And I laid down by him first and talked to him a lot and stroked him. But when I put my head down by him, my heart lifted. And I really got, there's nothing to grieve, and there's nothing, that all was well, and that it was all was beautiful, and all was a better love than before.
And how did you get that?
It just came to my heart, just clear as a bell, just like the heart just went ding.
Can you explain that like a little bit?
In this really heavy, broken, shattered feeling of heartbreak,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just lifted. I mean, I put my head down and I felt that lift, and I just felt his presence, just making it fine. And now,
Was he sort of saying, it's all right, let me go?
no, he wasn't saying anything. There weren't words. It was all. It's just like this process I'm in right now. Of the grief puts me in touch with so much depth, and if I just open to it, it's like a gift of opening to the deepest parts of myself,
Mm-hmm.
and to the parts that Tom and I shared, and the richness of it, and the beauty of it, and all of this was apart from our actions together. I couldn't find that place with him. We always had it when we made love. We always had a kind of a perfect body chemistry from the first moment we
Mm-hmm.
met, and that's what kept me going with him, because he was a rogue. He was a trickster, a difficult coyote teacher, and he taught me more than anyone in the world.
So can you say, what did he teach you?
Well, first of all, he'd never buy into my script, never buy into my control trip, ever. And I had a lot of jealousy and a lot of sexual neurosis when I met him. I never felt really loved, never felt adequate, never felt completely received. And
How did that change?
well, there was never a feeling of shame with him. There was never a feeling of not good enough for criticism, or Tom never criticized me.
Mm-hmm.
He never made me wrong. And I had complete freedom in terms of farts, body smells, peeing, shitting, all that kind. He had a lot of leakage out of his asshole. And so his clothes all had big poop stains in the back, but he didn't care.
So there was what I'm seeing is sort of like this open freedom around him.
Yeah, there's it was. I'm just talking to one of the other. See, Tom made 3 babies while we were together with other women. So he had some pretty intense relationships, and they were women that wanted to keep him and have him.
Right.
And I shared that with him. You're like this, Helen. Those women are the dearest, most beautiful friends, most true, most.
Well, it's a little from your Mormon heritage,
Connecting.
right? It's like,
I had to do that because of the polygamy, but Tom did that so beautifully. He did that. That was his element, to do that, and it was just wrenching heartbreak for me and suffering. But I always knew it was my own suffering, and I always knew that when I got over it, there was love there, and I could go to.
Well, let me ask you about this, because it's such sometimes I think, and I remember once being jealous myself, and I felt like I was the Empire State Building, and my fingernails, I would, red fingernails, and I would just like go down his face and let blood drip, and I felt like I was I never felt such great power from that jealousy and anger. I mean, I was like enraged.
I turned it on myself always.
So I could see we're like evil, like bad. It makes you very powerful, like hate can give you a lot of power. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering, from what you're describing, how did you handle that jealousy? How did you accept it or go through it or whatever it was, however you handled it? How did you do that?
A lot of years, and that was Tom's unique gift to me, because I loved him, and that was where the love was. And even though he would be with someone else, I could come into that situation and receive love, and so that's what I did. That's how I coped.
What do you mean? How would you receive love from the other woman, or what?
Another woman, I would go and I'd be in their relationship with them.
Sexually too, or just?
Oh, sometimes, yeah.
Oh, so
Not
you would
often.
have like threesomes sometimes?
Yeah, done that with Tom, with other men, and also women.
Oh, really?
Well, but see, this is a long story, but I met Tom after my first or second 3-month silent retreat. And Tom had just come back from India. So we kind of connected in this really deep silent place. It was very beautiful. And that was always there.
Mm-hmm.
And we couldn't always access it. But somehow that was like a perfect thing. And it empowered him a lot with other women. Because he was afraid. His mother lived for him. Father, they lived their relationship through him. He was the purpose of their life, and he was high-strung, and his father was alcoholic and blah, blah, but he couldn't give his life over to a woman.
Because?
He became a Catholic priest for the sake of his mother, and then when she died, he realized he was free and he could learn about sex, which he wanted to do.
How old was he?
He was at least 30-something.
Okay.
So, he did it constantly. He went and became a sex therapist in Berkeley.
Oh, wow. From a Catholic priest to a sex
and
therapist.
And that's natural. One extreme to another to balance out. And he got real tantric because he studied sex, and he did it in the sex movement in the 60s. So that's what was so wonderful about Tom, is the way he explored sex. And not just with me, but he did it from a place of a tantric master.
So, yeah, here's my question about it. Or what my thoughts, I'm thinking. Because jealousy is very difficult. Cleopatra. It's ancient.
I was trained as a Mormon to hand my power over to the man.
Right.
I have the authority outside. So I put my well-being, my worth, my reason for being into the man.
Right.
So I would have to do everything to entice the man. And then once I got him, I'd be very critical. Because, I'd have all that suppressed, everything that I had to hide.